Welcome to Sitting with Shireen. It is such a pleasure to have you back here with us. Hey, have you subscribed? It's year 3. If you haven't committed to us as yet, please go ahead right now and press the subscribe button. In the meantime, let me welcome you and introduce you to our guest. Today, sharing with us is Mrs. Sherry Brown, the beautiful Mrs. Sherry Brown. This young lady I met some years ago. Boy, it has maybe 20 or so, about 20 or so years ago, through a lady at my, I like how you say that, a mutual sister. I was trying to describe who she means to me, and there's just so much flooding that came into my mind. But this mutual sister of ours is her biological sister and my sister in the faith, and she brought us together. And since then, I have watched this young lady, and every step she makes, everything she does, her as a mother, as a professional, her as a child of God, has been the example of what women like me and women like you who are listening should emulate. Okay, and what we're going to do today, we're going to sit, and this is our Mother's Day segment, and so I thought, let's just sit with like a mom mogul or something like that, you know, like someone who is just doing it big, being a mom, doing it big, being a successful woman, doing it big, being a wife, doing it bigger, being a child of God. And so, Sherry, welcome once again to the set.
Thank you.
It's so good to have you here, and you look beautiful.
You look amazing.
This orange is just like doing it for me.
Love your colors too.
Thank you, thank you. We're going to talk a little bit about embracing motherhood, and I have titled this segment Motherhood and Mentorship, because you're here. I see you as a mentor, and we're going to share with some of the young ladies who want to be mothers, who want to be equally as successful in motherhood, what they do professionally, and of course as a child of God. Okay, we're going to just go ahead and do that. So first question is, for those meeting Sherry, Mrs. Brown, for the first time, or the mom mogul, for the first time, who are you beyond your titles?
Beyond my titles, I'm just me, who God has made me to be. I love life. I love people. I embrace every good opportunity that comes my way. I love being a mother. I love being a wife.
I know that.
I love being a professional. I love being a child of God.
That part.
And that's about it.
Yeah, and that's simple enough, isn't it? We're going to see just how simple that's going to be. When you hear the word motherhood, what does that mean to you personally?
Motherhood? Being an example.
Yeah.
As much as possible. I know it doesn't come with perfection. I wish it did. But because I love love, I love my children. I just love having the huge responsibility with my husband of raising queens. I just love it.
That part. That part.
Yeah.
You mentioned you love love. Expand on that a little bit and how that contributes to loving your children, loving life. I've heard you say that word quite a bit so quickly into our interview. What does that mean?
Love, it's not just a word. It's a doing.
Okay.
It carries so much weight.
Yeah.
And I love carrying weight. It's a wonderful feeling. Especially making someone else feel what it is you're giving, and seeing the response on their faces. I love to see people smile. I love to help.
Yeah.
I just love to love.
Yes, I love it.
It's just a beautiful feeling, and I want to feel that way every day, all day.
Okay.
And so this is my demeanor. This is my setup every day, all day. Even when things are down, I know how to rest that aside and just love. I just love.
Yes, I love that too, and I love that. You mentioned the word weight, and you know, first, to someone who's listening, when they hear weight, they can hear something that's, oh my gosh, or really, do I have to do it? But when you say that you love to carry the weight, especially when it comes to love, what do you mean exactly?
Pushing past the pains that life brings.
Yes.
Because life comes with a load.
Yes.
And it comes with disappointments. It comes with failure. But if you can love your way through all of that, you're a champion in your own right.
I'm loving the way that this conversation is going already, because it's hit a point to me not too long ago, you know, going through the whole who's Shireen? God, show me who Shireen really is. And then I remember telling myself, I used to be the why I gotta be this one, why it always gotta be me, like that type of thing, until eventually Holy Spirit revealed to me that you carry a beautiful burden. I took it as a burden, and the fact that you mentioned weight, you know, it just kind of struck a chord with me. And he said that the burden that I've given you is one that's beautiful. You need to change your mindset. Don't consider it something that you're incapable of doing. Don't think of it as something that is impossible. When you have my strength, and you have my help, and the Holy Spirit, when you have my instructions, when you have my concern, when you have my compassion, when you have my provision, it's a beautiful burden, and it's yours to carry. And I'm sure as a mother, that is something that encountering motherhood on the whole comes with all kind of ways, right? But it takes love. The Bible says that that love covers a multitude of sin. And then, of course, when we read 1 Corinthians chapter 13, the description of love is one that people just don't seem to have the real understanding. Do you know what love not suffering long is? Or wanting not? I'm like, do you really get what this passage of scripture is trying to say to you? And for a mother's love is one of those loves that expresses this love, the 1 Corinthians 13 type of love in its entirety. Yes. So let's go back to our question. Thank you for sharing that. Now, you, in our pre-interview, we talked about you growing up, what it was like you growing up, and you mentioned, you know, being born out of wedlock, and then primarily living with your father, okay? But you also mentioned that you grew up in 2 Christian households. Now, tell me what type of, how did that shape your understanding of God and family from the onset or being younger?
Because I was introduced to my father's home at a very young age. I think that helped mold me from both ends of the coin into being who I am today. I was taken to a home where love, it was evident. The joy of the Lord was in there despite I just want to put a pin right there for a minute. And just sitting here thinking about it, what we consider mess, God made a beautiful thing out of it.
Wow.
You know, because I asked my stepmom to this day, how were you able to receive me so openly and not one day, I can't remember one day feeling this woman don't love me, why am I here eating her children's food, sleeping in her bed, how dare I be such the person I am. But she has shown me love from the beginning. People wonder if I wasn't the child she carried. That's how real it is. And from child to now. So
shout out to the good stepmoms, and we are talking about mothers and the importance, and I'm so happy that you had that experience and that you shared that, because motherhood isn't always just in a specific type of family or framework, okay? And even love, it has to be that love of a mother that was able to embrace you, saying no different. It's like the love of Christ. He said that he's no respecter of persons, okay? To each one of us, we're all seen as children in his eyes. And that's the expression of a mother's love that we hope for, look for, and embrace. And I'm happy that you would have shared that with us. But go ahead.
So from one loving home to another loving home, love was always. I just grew up in in 2 loving homes. With my mom from Monday to Friday, and then at my dad's house every weekend, every break. Okay. To the point where my stepmom would ask my mom, "Hey, our time is coming up. drop my child off. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And often, like as I mentioned, most times social media or the media, they show the negative effects of living with, two types of families. But the fact that you can come here and sit and share that you had the love shared straight across the board. You had double the love.
Double.
Indeed, not a mess, but a blessing. Okay, you have experienced indeed a blessing. So that was how it shaped your thought about God and family.
Yes.
And I'm sure that you would have taken that double love.
Yes.
And then, of course, been able to transform that into the mother that you are today.
Yes.
To be able to share that with not just your children, okay? People like me who encounter you we can feel that you have the ability to make someone feel like they are the only person in the room.
Oh, wow.
Okay?
Thank you.
That's how this young lady has been. Her aura, the way she embraces, the way she directs you. She would have at a point in time when I was going through a bit of I don't really know what's happening with my life type of situation. You gave me instructions and I took them with me and I executed them to the best of my ability. And I always remembered those instructions, and those were, you have to be able to sell ice in Eskimo and always leave your integrity.
Yes.
With your integrity intact. And that's something that she would have shared with me as a young professional, not necessarily a mom yet, but those instructions will go into when I become a mother, because it's just as relevant, right?
Yeah.
It's just as relevant. Next question. Now you mentioned, it's interesting that when it comes to your mother, she had how many girls?
3.
Oh, look at the Lord. Isn't he just, sometimes you sit and be like, what? God, I see you. I see you. So tell us who are listening today,
Yes.
how many children do you have?
I have 3 girls.
On God, on God, on God. And I love it. Now that you had, did that ever make you reflect more deeply on your mom's journey?
Yes.
What that journey might have been like.
Well, my mom did it alone and somewhat alone
Okay.
because my dad helped me on the other
okay,
side.
I understand.
But I always said if my mom can raise 3 girls, 3 beautiful girls,
Yes, that part.
3 beautiful professional,
That part.
God-loving girls, then with a husband,
Yeah.
I can do it too.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't ask God for girls. I wanted boys.
Oh, really?
I wanted 3 boys.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And
God in His
he
providence.
has a sense of humor.
Yes, it does.
And I have no regrets.
Yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful.
I have 3 princesses. We have 3 princesses.
Yes, and you mentioned earlier that you got some queen action going on with those girls of yours.
Yes.
Wonderful. I remember Charlize, the baby, when we first were connected. She was my little sweetheart. She was the only little one that I used to have as a little sweetheart, and we shared so many precious moments, and they have grown so beautifully.
Thank you.
You are indeed blessed. Now, your mom laid a strong foundation, and you shared this with me. Of course, being a single mom, but having values. You mentioned that she grew beautiful, 3 beautiful girls, 3 girls who are professional, and 3 daughters who love the Lord.
Yes.
Okay, with her having laid that foundation, you told me specifically these things, and I wrote these down. She said, dress professionally.
Yes.
Show up and work as unto the Lord.
Yes.
Let's translate it into what we said a bit earlier. How do those principles, or how did they shape your life and career?
I am where I am today because of those principles.
Yeah.
My mom she still works at age 75.
Wow.
She was a very hard worker.
Yes, okay.
She ended up inheriting 3 additional children when her sister died at a young age from ovarian cancer.
Okay.
So my mom actually raised 6 children.
Oh, wow, yes.
And her siblings were still young when her mom died. Her parents died. So she
Raised the
even
siblings.
had,
Oh, wow. She is a mother naturally. Oh, my God.
but she was always a working mother.
Yes, okay.
Holding down at least 2 jobs at one time.
Okay.
Persons don't know, my mom used to be one of the maids on Sir Lyndon Pinland's team.
Oh, really? Wow, sounds like we need to
My mom was
interview
a
her.
housekeeper.
I like that. And if you knew where her mom is today, that is the story, okay? From where you mentioning that she was to where she is today. Oh my, yeah, we're gonna need to bring Sister Lulu back on the show.
Yeah,
Okay,
but she didn't stay there.
Yes,
she didn't
that
allow
part.
her start to be her end.
Yes.
I remember at age probably 35 or 40, her taking up some computer classes.
Okay.
And that was the starting point for me.
Yeah.
At being 10, 12, 20, well, back then I probably would have been like 12, 13 years old.
Okay.
And seeing my mom at age 40. 40 to me was back then was old.
Yes.
And mommy taking up classes and I was like, wow. So if she could do it,
Yes, come on.
I could do it.
Oh my God.
And I don't know how she did it. 3 girls, salary at about $150.
Oh my God.
Living home in a hub family home, and we traveled every year, every summer break. It was at least 7 to 9 days.
What?
In Florida.
Wow.
Back to school shopping.
Wow.
Living in hotels downtown.
I can't even.
She was a saver.
Yes.
She was a worker.
Yes.
And as with the little she had, she sure made us feel as though we were rich.
I can imagine. And that too, when we think of what a mother does, and you know, a lot of times during this time of the year, we do the Proverbs 31 woman, okay, what she's able to do, having to just be able to take care of her kids, what's given to her. We see that this is laid. She has been obviously given that foundation and she executed. Okay, she was able to execute, and I can see why she is the foundation of you being the woman that you are today.
Yes.
Okay, she's able to, man, like I tell you, Sister Lou, I'm gonna need you to consider sitting on my chair. Okay, shout out to mothers who are just able to make things work
Yes.
seamlessly. And I can only imagine the time she would have had to lay before the Lord and pray. And you would not have had, you as the daughter would not have seen or heard the tears that she would have cried, the type of things she had to sacrifice in order to make her daughters become mothers eventually, because each one of your sisters, if I'm not mistaken, they all have children, mothers. And then you see a kind of a generational thing happening here. Your mom lost her parents young, but yet the transition came in because she made sure that the Lord, thankfully the Lord has brought her to 75 years, but she's instilled that, so now that motherhood, that mother type characteristics will go on through generations, especially seeing that you have 3 girls too, you know, that's gonna go on for a little bit. Let's go back, and I want to ask you that you grew up in an environment, and you talked about this being a professional. You did mention how you kind of took on the same steps as your mom. You said that she started at one place and then she built her way up to another. You mentioned to me that you were a secretary and a stewardess initially, but
that was my dream.
Oh, that's what
I
you wanted to be. Okay.
A secretary or a stewardess.
Okay.
And I don't want to knock anyone's career. But my mom discouraged me.
Okay.
I just wanted a job.
Yeah.
I just wanted to help her. Seeing how hard she worked trying to help us. I just wanted more, and I wanted to start as young as possible in the work field. So when I started my studies, because I know I wanted to do secretarial work, once I went into grade 10, I did all the business courses.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I wanted to go to COB/UB, and the money wasn't there.
Okay.
And so I signed myself up to go to BTVI, which was ITC back then.
Okay, yes, you did.
And I did the business course. And there's a section within the curriculum that you do job training.
Okay.
And I got this job at a travel agency, a training at a travel agency, and they were saying, you know, we really like what you're doing. Go and graduate, and when you come back, we'll hire you. I graduated. I was still going back periodically, whenever, depending on how my classes ran. And when I was finished with community college, I went back as they invited me back, but there was no room for me at that time.
Okay.
And I worked for 1 year without a salary.
Oh, really?
I kept going.
Yes. Come on.
Because I wanted to learn. I didn't want to just stay at home and possibly become a teenage mom or just find idle things for my hands to do. So I showed up every day dressed as if I had that job.
Thank you.
And within 12 months, space became available for me to go on the paid roster, and it took off from there. And I want you to know that sacrifice of working for 12 months without a salary
Come on.
opened doors.
I could
Mighty God.
imagine.
When the travel agency was closing down, my boss, Mr. Chad Benjamin, God rest his soul, called me in. He said, Sherry, you know, it breaks my heart that we're closing, but I have to find something for you to do.
Oh my goodness.
And he found one of his investment partners who took me on at a doctor's office, Dr. Wavell Thompson, God rest his soul. And when Dr. Wavell was getting set to travel to the family island, because he was now setting up his retirement, so he was supposed to go to the family island to work in operate one of the government clinics. Called me into his office, Sherry, you know, you work so well, it breaks my heart. And he
I love that for you.
hooked me up with his then brother-in-law at one of the major insurance companies. I won't call the name. And life just bloomed from there.
Is that the insurance company that I met you working
Yes.
at? Ah, yes. So you mentioned something, and I'm happy that you stopped and paused and said that sacrifice opened doors for you. You know, a lot of persons don't consider when you make those type of moves. I grew up working alongside ladies like you know, your age bracket, your era. And since when I came out of the banking industry, I saw that there was a bit of a change in the mindset of the younger folks, or even folks my age, who were coming in because they had not been able to sit with women like you who understand and appreciate the value in making sacrifices such as that. But nowadays, you gonna need to pay me. So my time, I ain't working. You ain't paying me. I'm walking out the door.
Yeah, times have changed.
Okay, and that, as you sat here explaining that, all I heard was the sacrifice is a step to the setup.
Yes.
Okay, that sacrifice that you feel is unattainable. How am I going to eat? I'm working, but you ain't giving me no money. Do you know what you're learning?
That's how I took it on.
Yeah,
It's a learning experience. It's another year in community college. They won't be able to take that knowledge away from me.
that part.
And I was really good. By the time I was hired, the training I just took off
Yeah,
like a jet plane.
I love that. And so, ladies, men, understand that the sacrifice is only a step towards the setup. Okay, that thing that God has for you, sometimes it means that we have to give a little bit more. Okay, so change your mindset. Not all the time it's working against you, but be humble enough, be open enough to be taught in those moments. God is at work, and I would have shared with another one of the persons who sit on the chair with us that, especially for a child of God, someone who is committed to a thing, and because God loves us unconditionally, you could just be someone. You don't even have to profess Christianity to know that He is working for you, that He is for you. So in those moments when it seems as though I really given too much, trust that God is working something out on your behalf. Okay, trust that God is working out, because that's how much He loves us, y'all. And we talking about this love. I believe He even mentioned His love in the Bible, if I'm remembering. He talked about His mother, how the analogy of a mother hen. Okay, and we're talking about mother's love here. God loves us that much that He's concerned about us, especially in the moments when we have to take the loss. Right? Take the loss. We talked about how things have changed in the workplace. Like I said, the people who I worked with, I saw that there was a change of mindset. There was a change of it was almost as though there was a change in the value of what you did. But let's talk about the changes that we experienced in the workplace. And we talked about the fact that your mom mentioned dressing professionally, right? And how that has changed.
Yeah.
When I was working, and I'll just give this example, I remember a gentleman, you know the loafers, like the flats? I was wearing them one day, and he was like, this is not professional. You know, women aren't supposed to be wearing these little, dragging these shoes around. And I'm like, that's interesting, but go ahead and share with us some of the things that would have changed in the working environment. When we talk about, you know, those values that you mentioned a little earlier.
Okay, people will treat you the way you treat yourself.
Yes. Okay.
You have no self-respect, you most likely won't get much from other people.
Wow.
I always say dress for the part you want eventually. I started off at the insurance company as a cashier in the cage behind the scene. I very well could have
Put on some loafers.
just put on some loafers, and you know, but that was not the standard there.
Yes. Okay.
You were expected to dress as if you were a frontliner dealing with customers.
Okay.
And so because my mom was always a dresser, we went to church all the time. So dressing, I always knew how to put it together. But dressing professionally was one of the reasons I was propelled out of that cage so soon.
Wow.
And my manager told me at the time, we've been watching you.
Wow.
To the point where I had some of my colleagues to come, I'd be just here to see what you're wearing today. You know, because as a cashier, you're behind the scene, behind this glass door. They're only seeing your face up. So why are you dressing, you know? But it helped me to move up a little quicker. I always had the mindset of working is unto the Lord.
Yes.
I saw my mom, she was a workaholic.
Yes.
She showed up on time. She worked. She was the last one to leave, and she just worked.
Yeah.
And so I think I got that from her. But just being present, just showing up.
That part.
You know, no matter how you feel, just showing up.
And what you want to expand a little bit on what you mean by showing up, or what you think your mom meant by showing up?
She was in attendance.
Okay.
And when she came, she worked.
Yes.
She didn't just show up to say she's making up the number.
That part.
She always worked as unto the Lord, and that was my mindset. And that's when I became assistant supervisor and supervisor, and I climbed up the ladder so quickly. It blew my mind. But all of this was just God's way of just grooming me for what's to come. And so when I had a colleague who said, you know, the money's small, I wish I made more, or what could I do to get where you are? I had a story to tell them, you know, and it encouraged them, it motivated them. I always told my team back then, bring a picture of something that motivates you, that makes you want to show up every day. Even if it's a picture of your dog, picture of your car, picture of your closet if you like clothes, picture of your salon if you like to get your hair done. Bring a picture, put it on your desk to remind you. Why is it that you're showing up every day and giving more than 100%? And working hard, as much as people may think it goes by unnoticed, and you're going to find yourself in areas where it appears as if only you working or you and one other person working. Never mind that. Keep your nose down. The time goes quicker when you're working.
Yes.
If you're someone who just wants the day to end. But someone's watching. Someone is watching. And if that someone is, even if that someone isn't your supervisor or manager, God is watching.
Yes.
And be reminded that promotions come from Him.
Yes. Okay, so let's take this moment to put a little, I don't know if you want to say a transparent moment, because Holy Spirit just kind of just brought it to me.
Okay.
So, not too long ago, as in within the week that we are recording this segment, I said to, I think it might have been my sister, I am done, or I'm fed up with always being in the position of the learner. That's what I said. I said that because most recently I volunteered to be a part of a team, and once again I was the volunteer, sitting at the feet, right? And I said to myself, I feel at this age I should be the teacher. I should be the one imparting. I said to myself, not that I love learning, but it feels as though the time has come to change roles, right? And so I'm listening to you and I'm like, no, always be of the mindset, just like you said, showing up. Somebody is watching you. I did not think, who knows, the woman who I'm sitting at the feet of is watching what I do in this moment. Who knows when the opportunity is going to come, be like, okay, Shireen, I saw you. This is now your time. But I was in my little, like that was time for some change. That's time for some kind of transformation. But it's important, no matter what age you are, to do what you do, as you say, as unto the Lord. Even in the seat of the learner or the lesser. I could even go back to, and I think I might have made mention to you some time ago when you advised me when I was making that transition. I can't believe that I back here. From banking to printing programs. Really?
Yeah.
Okay. But even that, if we go back to what you said earlier, that sacrifice is only a step to the setup.
Yeah.
Woo!
It is.
My God. Sis, you are helping me today, and I hope that we are helping somebody else who is out there listening.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that. Now, you grew up, and we were talking about how times change, and you mentioned that you had some people in your life who would have said things. Okay, you talked about a specific manager. You want to share that story about her saying to you to fix this and fix that?
The company that I worked at, I call that my first real job.
Yes.
They were a stickler for dressing professional. There was this one lady, Mrs. Brenda Archer, and she would walk around. She was head of HR at the time. In fact, she was the one I sat in front of when I interviewed for the job.
Okay.
And so every morning she would do her rounds, just to see how everyone's doing. And every so often she would just, fix that, pull that up. The girls are showing. I shouldn't be able to see the crack. Fix it. You look a little snuggy there. Let's just get it, just get it right. Times have changed, I'm telling you. I was not offended.
Okay.
Because I always wanted to be respected.
Yes.
And so I didn't take her telling me to, you look a little snuggy, or, pull it up a bit, or these shoes today, too much toes are showing, or, I took it as constructive criticism and I ran with it. And believe it or not, being the last one to go into the department that I was promoted into, I became their supervisor out of a cashier's cage.
Yes.
And so you can't take constructive criticism as someone picking on you.
Yeah, tell us.
You may find yourself at a workplace where this particular supervisor seems to always be the one bearing down on you. That's because that supervisor or manager sees something in you that they don't see in the
Thank
others.
You for that. Yes.
So just receive it.
Yes.
Receive it, and there will be moments when you can just go in and say, Miss Roll or Mr. Bean, why I feel so you're always coming down on me? What is it I'm not doing right? You'd be surprised the responses you get.
I was going to ask you, because I'm sitting here and I'm listening to you being open to and receiving what was said to you. A lot of persons do not have that mindset today. Offense, defense, those type of things is when you come to me, well, who she thinks she's talking to, like that type of thing. But it's obvious that you had a drive, a desire, something of that nature to always want to be better, do better, look better. Where did all of that come from?
Watching my mom work so hard.
Okay.
Her not having a higher education.
Okay.
I can't say for sure that my mom graduated out of grade 12, like most moms probably did, because she had a sister who became a teenage mother
Okay.
probably at age 13 or
Oh, wow,
14.
yeah.
So she found herself having to drop out of school to help her,
Okay, yes.
her sister. So just seeing how hard my mom worked and seeing that the kind of jobs that she more of had to settle for
Okay.
because she didn't have a higher education, that right there, that was my drive.
Yeah.
And then when I started working at my real job, I had a mentor, Mrs. Yvette Ingram.
Okay.
And I remember her calling me in one day during my annual review. And she encouraged me to start sitting the insurance exams. And there was something she said to me, and she spoke to me like a mother to a daughter.
Okay, yes.
She said, Sherry, you know, there are women around the world who are not allowed to have education, to be educated.
Wow, yes.
She said, we're in this country, and she said, I can't say this often enough, particularly to the women whom I'm responsible for, to educate yourself, qualify yourself. If insurance is something that you're finding that this is what you want to do, then show us, prove yourself. She said persons were coming to my office time after time during this interview, this report card day, and asking, you know, whether or not they're entitled to a raise.
Okay.
She said one thing that stuck with me, even as a assistant supervisor onto a supervisor. Tell me what you are doing today.
Come on.
More than what you did yesterday.
Yes.
More than what you did yesteryear that qualifies you for a raise today.
Oh my God.
What have you done differently?
Wow.
Have you attained some new education? Have you learned the policy wording? Are you more comfortable with selling?
Wow.
Selling what it is you're selling, cross-selling. Tell me what you're doing more today
Yes.
than last year
Oh, wow.
that warrants a raise today.
Wow.
That stuck with me throughout. That was it.
Okay.
That was
I
it
got you.
for me.
Yeah, that was the flip.
That
the
was
switch.
it. That was it. And I was able to use that same information with the colleagues whom I became
Okay,
responsible
yes,
for.
yes.
You know, everyone wants more money,
You pass-
but what are you doing
Yes.
on your
Okay.
own
Yes.
that the company's not doing for you?
Yes,
Tell me
okay.
what the cost that you paid
Yes,
for
that
to upgrade
part.
yourself. And
Motherhood and mentorship go hand in hand. There are two things that just came to me while you were talking. Mothers, everything you do affects the daughter or son that's watching
Yes.
you. Okay, so every move that you make, you've heard, I guess, talk about a mother, and like I said, we are paying tribute to mothers. Everything that she did was the foundation, or was the seed planted so that she can have the drive for who she is today. Mothers, everything that you do, whether good or bad, has an impact or an effect on who's watching you. And you mentioned you had a mentor who was like a mother. It doesn't even have to be a biological daughter. It does not have to be a stepchild. Okay, it doesn't have to be your niece or your nephew. It doesn't have to be any biological connections. There are people who are watching women, and so many women today, and I'm grateful because we, even in our previous conversation, we talked about where are those women today, right? Because we can sometimes, and I have to be honest with you, we did a segment here talking about the midwives, and we took it from a spiritual aspect. And the discussion of what the Lord had brought to me at that time is that there is almost like an imbalance. Okay, there are persons who want to be mentored, but there aren't mentors available. And then there's the case where there are mentors available, but persons don't want to be mentored. If you follow what I'm saying. And it's such a unfortunate situation, but at the end of the day, if you want to go after something, there is someone somewhere available. The Lord had mentioned to me that I need to create my community. I always used to be the one that said, well, who's going to drive, who, nobody. And I say this I say this all the time, and I'm sharing my story. No one said to me that I can remember, come, Miss Shireen, I see this in you.
Oh, wow.
Come and sit down inside of me.
Wow.
Okay, I cannot recall that there. However, I am someone who found herself in the room And I talked about the fact that, I found myself just recently saying that, well, here I am again, learning, because that's who I've always been, putting myself in the position where I can learn for free.
Yeah.
Right? But here's my time now. I'm like, I feel as though it's time to switch that around.
Yeah.
But I want to tell you that I use that as an excuse to mentor someone else.
Okay.
Because I would often say, well, nobody did it for me. I had to. And so when I instruct other women, I'd say, you go and find. Holy Spirit had to tell me, I'm showing you this young lady. Okay? Be who you needed someone to be for you. You realize that was the case. Stop using this as a clutch.
Yeah.
Stop saying, no, you have to go get it. You have to go out. No, I am placed. You don't see the signs? Sheree, I am sending this young lady. She's telling you. But no, I'm like, no, well, I didn't get that. Sometimes I could be a little, my family's be like, hi, turtle. It takes a while for me to kind of get it sometimes.
Yeah.
But what we women need to do, especially us who aspire to be mothers, we don't have to, as I mentioned, we don't have to be a biological mother to mother someone.
Exactly.
Okay? Pull someone along with you. There are persons, and I was going to say it in this segment, where are the mentors? But they are there.
Yeah.
Okay?
Sometimes you have to grow closer to the person you feel have something to offer.
Okay.
When I first started my real job, I hung out with the older women.
Yeah.
And the older married women.
Okay, that part.
Yeah. Not all of them were married. But I just loved mature company.
Yes.
And those were the women who held my hand in balancing marriage in the workplace, balancing children, marriage in the workplace, balancing children, marriage, the workplace, and faith. Those were the women, the Dulcie Mae Humes, the Teresa Poitier, God rest Mrs. Poitier's soul. I had persons like Karen Farrington, who's running in the election for the COI for South Beach. There was Vernice Charlton, who was deep in her books. I started studying because I saw Vernice studying.
Wow. Watching.
So gravitate to persons who take your time when you make it to the workplace, and just sit and watch for a while. There is nothing that says that you have to befriend the persons that you work with right away. Take your time and seek and look and watch, and you'll be guided to the right ones to help you to get to your destiny. I had a lot of destiny helpers along the way.
Thanks be to God.
And I give God thanks for that.
Yes, I wanted to say too that in our previous conversation, that was something that I identified, that you seem to have been blessed with always finding the favor of God, right? And God in His providence. But I love that you did not grab that favor and say it was what I did. Okay? And that's another thing that I admire you for, because you always, let me tell you, when I looked at you, I admired you even more. I think they're current pastors. And you, being a professional woman, being a mom, a woman who just, like I said, killing it, but to be humble enough to sit down and be like, I safeguard my woman of God. I pray for my woman of God. I will fight.
Yes, I will.
But I was like, what kind of woman is this?
Yes,
right?
I will.
What kind of woman is this? Someone who, as equally as you have the drive for your family, as equally as you have the drive for your job, when it comes to especially sitting under another woman of God, being the woman that I think you are, that's major. Okay, that's major. Share with us how you being that resilient, even when it comes to your faith, resilient yet humble, because that's humbling. I think that's something that's humbling, and I think that's something that's admirable.
I've always asked, my prayer has always been for the God to order my steps.
Okay.
Always.
Yeah.
My first lady, the lady, my female covering.
Yes, covering, got you.
She lives an exemplary life.
Yeah.
She don't just talk the talk, she walk the walk. Her life is an example of true Christianity, of wanting more from God, of drawing nigh to God, of getting the best out of your faith. It's just not an exercise. It's just not something you do. There's a benefit in serving God.
Yes, come
and trying to
on.
capitalize on absolutely everything that comes with it. It comes with some scolding,
Yes.
it comes with some bruising and some beating, but he's the potter
Yes.
and we're the clay.
Yes, come on.
And so my pastor's wife she's just a beautiful
Yeah.
leader. She's just a beautiful person. I have been scolded by her on many occasions, and a couple of times I had to remind her this is new to me.
Yes.
But I took it, and I didn't hold malice in my heart. I took it as a learning experience, and my faith, I have matured
Yes.
much more in Christ because of my leaders,
Yeah.
because of my pastor's beautiful wife. You know, she I call her a big sister, because she's too young to be my mother. But she's just a beautiful person, and she's not afraid to scold with love.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just a blessed child. I think
Yes,
I've
yes.
always found myself gravitating. I can't follow a poor leader.
Okay.
I can't.
Come on. That part, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I am that person who would tell you, because you are my leader, because you are responsible for me, I'm not afraid to tell you what I think you need
Yes,
to do
okay.
to have me to honor you. I respect the chair always.
Yes. Yes.
Regardless of your way of doing things. But I'm not afraid to tell you what I think you need to brush up on to be a better leader for me.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to do it.
Yeah, no, and I think that that's also admirable, because sometimes we can withhold,
Yeah.
and not even with the intention.
We're all on this plane together.
Yes. Yeah,
We're
It's
all on
and
the
that's
same
important, and that's so important when you even think about. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, we just went through all 3 different areas, and you were able to identify a woman, okay, who is your mother, okay, or like who sits in the position of a mother, or who mentored you. You talked about your mom, that's family. You named a few females at work, and then of course your pastor's wife in the church. Do you see what's happening here? Okay, so what I have noticed so far, even in this conversation, you have that placement straight across the board in these various aspects, which is why you can be successwe
Thank you.
at these 3 levels of life and be able to balance them off. I want to ask you, and we can go into your personal motherhood journey here. Talk about the fact that you have 3 girls, 3 beautiful girls. I'm gonna tell you, these girls, they are doing it. Okay, they are doing it. But I'm sure that being first-time mom, being successful at your job, there were challenges. And then, of course, you mentioned that you had some mentors who showed you this is how you kind of balance it off. Explain, I guess, a little bit more practically how that balancing act kind of was.
Okay. The very first time I became a mother, I was so excited to see this little human who was growing inside of me for the past 9 months. She was truly a gift. Because I remembered how my mom brought us up. I think it was not so difficult for me.
Yeah.
I wasn't the child who, mommy come help me. She has a fever, mommy come help me. I just kind of figured it out.
Yeah, okay.
And then I had a husband who grew up on the family island,
Okay, yeah, you were good.
in a big family.
Yeah, you-
And so it was like as though he was built for battle.
Yes, you blessed, girl. You
He was like built for battles. He was cooking. I remember with my second pregnancy, he sewed all my maternity wear.
Really?
He did.
I love that.
When I started my exams, he would deal with my first child. When I first started, he would tuck her in, make sure she's fed and fed, and okay, honey, you're home now. Get in your books. There were moments when he ducked me.
Yeah.
But by that time, I was strong enough,
Yes.
and to just have a flow, a rhythm
Okay.
of just preparing food, dinner, and making sure that the children are well, and I just grew into it.
Yeah.
My stepmom was. I always tell people I was raised by beasts.
Yes, I love it. We talking about mom moguls,
they just balance life, and just through watching them.
Yeah.
And then the women at work, just listening to them and listening to receiving their guidance is a mindset,
Yes, that part.
if you want it to happen,
Yes, come
it will
on.
happen.
Yes.
You just have to be prepared to put in the work.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be, and for the friends I had, they were at the club when I was nursing and studying.
Wow,
You coming
mindset.
you coming out? No, I can't because I got this to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's just wanting more
Yes.
and going after
Yeah,
it. I
yeah.
love motherhood. I
don't gotta tell
love
me.
raising my girls, and they're getting so grown now.
Yes.
The baby's now 15, turning 16 in
Charlie's 15.
September.
Oh my God.
And so they're also the two older ones are back home from university.
Yes. Okay. That's
And
wonderful.
I just miss them.
Yeah, I
You know, so what
know.
I'm capitalizing on now is my godchildren
Okay.
and their friends.
Okay. Yes.
And their friends' children. So
And that's so beautiful. And all of that is a part of the experience of motherhood and
Yeah.
life and God's blessings
Yeah.
upon us. And I'm happy that you, having been a recipient of these good mentors, this good motherhood, this good female, what did you say now? You said female covering, spiritual covering. You can do that now to your daughters, and as I mentioned, to women like me who see you from the outskirt. And it's so important that I want us to, as we wrap this conversation up, I want us to, well, if you would just go and encourage a female who has a difficulty with balancing, whether it's the idea of mentorship, non-mentorship, or being a mentee or a mentor, like, you know, I was telling you about it a little earlier, or balancing just motherhood, being a good Christian woman, a successful woman. Just go ahead and encourage someone who, let us know how we can get that done.
okay, don't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah.
There are going to be times when you didn't do your best, even though you set out to do your best. Don't beat yourself up over it. Get back up, brush off, and start again. Surround yourself with people who feed your goals.
Yeah.
I want to say that again.
Yes. Come on.
Surround yourself with people who feed your goals.
Wow.
You want to be a good mom. You want to be a super mom. You want to be a loving wife. You want to be a professional. Surround yourself with people who are there already.
Yes.
Don't be afraid of constructive criticism. Don't take it as someone trying to demean you or look down at you. And sometimes the tone that you receive it in won't be the tone that you would have appreciated. Receive it anyway.
Yes. Wow.
Take the advice. Take the good advice from persons who have been through. I always say, listening to a single woman telling me how to be a good wife.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
Sounds ironic, right?
Okay? But sitting at the feet of someone who's been in marriage for 20, 30, 40 years. We see things on the outside, but we don't know what the struggle was for where persons are in their lives. I'm sitting here talking to you, and anyone sitting out there would say, boy, she had it all together. No, I did not. No, there were moments I wanted to run away.
Yes.
There were moments I wanted to just drive my car and just kept driving. I always wish there was a bridge from the Bahamas to any other place in the world that I could just mash gas and keep going and then just call back and say, hey, I'm here for a week. You deal with it. I had those moments.
I can imagine.
I had those moments where in studying my exams, I failed a number of times.
Wow. Yeah.
And I spent my money and I lost my money failing. But then I started passing
Come on.
because I put more effort and time
Yeah.
into it. You know, you can't cram the week before and the night before
true.
to sit London exams, but you can't cram the day before and the week before to sit any exam.
Yeah. So true.
Life is an exam,
Yes. Come on. That part.
okay? But
Come
our
on.
Savior left a
Yeah.
guideline.
Jesus.
And so prayer, plenty prayer. Studying the word and finding time for God. Once you start finding time for God, your time multiplies when you don't even know. Everything starts to fall into place. I wish, and I just told my pastor's wife this sometime back, I wish I had known God sooner.
Okay,
I wish I was.
I got you.
I wish I had soaked myself,
Yes.
like surrender it all a little sooner, because I felt as though I missed out on so much
Wow,
benefits
yes.
of serving Him sooner.
Wow.
But it was a journey.
Yes.
And life is a journey.
Yeah.
You know, so I want to say to that person again who is sitting there thinking it won't happen for me, or I'm at this level in life and it'll never happen. Change your mindset.
Yes,
And it starts with hanging out with people who want more.
Yes.
Okay, you play with the chickens, you can stay clucking with the chickens.
Come
and just
on,
eating corn.
woman of God.
But if you soar with the eagles,
Eagles.
you could pick up Ray Kid up to another level,
Come
beat them up there, want more,
Oh, yes.
and do better.
Yes, that part.
And love God.
Yes.
And try to be a good person.
Yes. Yes.
Try to be a good person.
Yes, I got you.
It's not hard being a good person. Even to the ones who despitefully use
Yes.
you. Lay them at the throne of grace and try to live a life as much as possible. You're not going to be perfect.
Yeah.
You know, but God sees you trying. You know, and eventually, because I believe perfection is aspirable.
Yes,
I believe
yes, I agree.
you can get there.
I agree, yeah.
But don't beat yourself down when you fall down sometimes. Just get back up.
Yeah.
And keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep loving. Keep forgiving. Keep praying. Keep praying. Keep praying.
Oh my God. Whew.
And reading His Word. That's it. That's all I have to offer.
Listen, I just feel so. I don't even know. I don't normally not have the words to say, but I don't even know. But I want to once again just thank Mrs. Brown Sherry, sweetheart, for gracing the seat of sitting with Shireen. This young lady, y'all think this is a lot that she has accomplished. I'm just feeling that very soon there's about to be an explosive action for her. But I'm so grateful that you took the time, you sacrificed the time to sit with us on the show. And I want you to continue to pray, those of you who are mothers, biologically, spiritually, whatever facet that might be for you, to heed to those instructions. Okay, and we look forward to seeing very great things from you. God bless you. Thank you for joining us here at Sitting with Shireen. See you soon.